Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Ridge postpones Brooke's reunion because he feels guilty about Taylor. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge Forrester will postpone his reunion with Brooke Logan. Brooke will have to wait for their happy ending since B&B viewers will witness Ridge pump the brakes out of guilt for Taylor Hayes. It was simple to sense the change in tone following Ridge's spectacular rescue in Naples. The fact that Ridge nearly lost Brooke rocked him and forced him to think about what life would be like without her. Ridge knew he couldn't continue to take Brooke for granted after performing CPR and getting her breathing again. At least that was how Ridge felt at the time, holding Brooke close and appearing dedicated to mending their damaged relationship. Naturally, after Ridge takes a plane back to Los Angeles, reality will sink in. Now that he knows Brooke is the one he wants, it will be difficult for Ridge to face Taylor because his fiancée has been waiting for him at home. Ridge will find it difficult to bear the idea of breaking Taylor's heart again because he has done it more times than he can remember. Taylor will still be overflowing with anticipation for their impending nuptials. Even if Ridge tries to come clean about kissing Brooke and experiencing a real love revelation, Taylor will play up the fact that Brooke needs to find a new future and act as though the ring would never come off. Ultimately, Ridge will not be able to carry out his plan to dump Taylor quite yet. It's probable that Ridge will tell Brooke straight out that Taylor's broken heart syndrome and her medical issues are to blame. Ridge won't want to cause Taylor any more suffering because he is aware that he played a significant role in her suffering in the past. Ridge might feel pressured to ease Taylor into this, even if he still intends to call it quits on the engagement in the end. Ridge will postpone the inevitable when it comes to his reunion with Brooke, since he doesn't want to abruptly break the news to Taylor. All of the drama in Italy has obviously unlocked Ridge and Brooke's destiny, but it will take some more time before they can be together completely. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke will have to wait for Ridge in the interim. Follow along for updates on their future together. Hope gives Grace a slap, while Finn restrains an enraged Liam. Hope Logan slapped Grace Buckingham for her swindle, according to The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Friday, August 8th. Here is the outcome of Friday's B&B episode, which also saw John Finnegan having to restrain an enraged Liam Spencer. Katie Logan at Forrester Creations was shocked to learn that Bill Spencer had paid $1 million for Liam's experimental procedure. Bill, on the other hand, thought Grace was a miracle worker and would have been prepared to pay much more. Despite his prior tyrannical behavior, Bill was happy to have another opportunity to do things correctly and improve his relationship with Liam as a father and son. Liam and Hope were concerned that his cancer had returned at the Spencer mansion, but Grace reassured them that it had not. Finn urged Hope and Liam to hear the truth, but they were relieved and resumed praising Grace. Grace revealed that since she had fabricated the scans after Liam's brain bleed, there had never been any cancer at all. Additionally, Liam learned that the treatment was a hoax and that he had been given medicine to make him believe that his condition was worsening. Hope finally yelled at Grace for being no better than Reese Buckingham after realizing that she had a million reasons to do this. Liam became enraged and rushed at Grace as he realized what all of this meant. Liam was still furious after Finn calmed him down and stopped him from hitting Grace. Grace made an effort to clarify the bookies' pursuit of her and her girls due to Reese's previous gambling debts. However, given how far Grace had fallen, it was obvious that Liam and Hope had little sympathy for her. Before declaring Grace ill, Hope came up and gave her a face smack. Following Liam's tirade about the hardships Grace caused his family and how she had deprived them of months of their lives, Grace promised to come forward. When they were by themselves and starting to comprehend everything, Hope gave Liam a hug after Finn promised to accompany Grace to the police station. Lee Finnegan once again declined to provide Sheila Sharp with information regarding Luna Nozawa's remains at the hospital. Sheila discovered a stray bottle and gave it some thought after Lee picked up the medicines that had fallen to the ground and departed. Eventually, Sheila knocked on Lee's door and feigned to be a delivery person. Sheila believed Lee was using drugs to deal with Luna's death, so she tried to worm her way in when Lee opened up. Sheila's foot was stuck in the doorway, causing discomfort, and Lee prevented her from entering. But at last, Sheila was able to storm in and tear back the curtain, revealing a very much alive Luna. Luna's coma awakening is quickly approaching, according to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila questions Lee about Luna's survival. According to Monday, August 11th spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Bill Spencer is furious with Liam Spencer's announcement, and Sheila Sharp will question Lee Finnegan about Luna Nozawa's survival. At the Spencer home, Liam and Hope Logan recently had a huge shock when John Finnegan made Grace Buckingham confess to fabricating Liam's cancer diagnosis and ensuing treatment. Bill is going to be caught off guard as Liam and Hope explain everything, since it appears that he will receive updates on Monday's B&B program. Liam will point out that Grace prescribed medicines to make Bill believe he was becoming sicker, but Bill won't comprehend how this is possible. In addition to the fake scans, Grace was able to persuade Liam that time was running out. Naturally, that ultimately resulted in Grace giving Bill this miraculous fix and earning $1 million for it. Grace's reasons won't matter to Bill, who will make it plain that she is going along with this. Grace has already gone to the police station to confess her misdeeds, but would resentful Dollar Bill be satisfied with that, or will he demand more retribution? When Sheila pulls back the curtain to uncover Luna, she will be shocked. Sheila will have many questions for Lee regarding Luna's condition and the reason she saved her, because she was taken aback when she saw her unconscious grandchild. Even while Lee acknowledges that her connection with Luna has been tense lately, she still has fond memories of the kind young child she used to be. Lee believes that Luna lost her way since she was set up for failure by Papi Nozawa's poor parenting. Lee has been nursing Luna back to health behind closed doors because she wants to provide her with the support she needs right now. Lee might be hesitant to have another person engaged in all of this, but Sheila might be adamant about helping. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna will soon come out of her coma. Therefore, she will be treated to some surprises. Bill targets Grace, Lee tells Sheila. Spoilers for Monday, August 11th's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful point to several surprises and turns. Sheila Carter Sharp will be given an explanation by Lee Finnegan. Bill Spencer, meanwhile, vows to discipline Grace Buckingham. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. An explanation by Lee Finnegan. Let's begin with Lee, who staged the killing of Luna Nozawa. To care for Luna, the doctor took a leave of absence from his job, but she didn't anticipate being caught by surprise. Sheila will be ecstatic to see Luna's unconscious body now. Sheila will have questions, though, as the shock wears off. Sheila asks why Lee bothered to save Luna in a preview clip. Although Lee has always harbored animosity against Luna, the grandma is appreciative. See also The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Hope's startling call regarding Liam, Brooke's hospitalization, the unachievable choice of Sheila Carter Sharp. Lee might then place Sheila in a precarious situation. Lee will never be forgiven if the truth is out now. Sheila also wants Luna to succeed because she loves her. Sheila may therefore have to decide after finding out Lee's strategy for when Luna awakens. In order to give Luna another chance at life, would she preserve Lee's secret? Or will she risk Luna's death by telling everyone the truth? Sheila could normally ask Deacon Sharp for guidance. However, she is unable to inform her spouse of this. Deacon becomes furious when the killer's name is mentioned. Sheila will therefore have to deal with this moral conundrum alone. The finding of Bill Spencer. According to previews for the upcoming episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Bill comes home after seeing Katie Logan. At that point, Liam Spencer and Hope Logan ambush him. Bill will plan retaliation after they inform him that Grace misrepresented Liam's brain tumor. The destiny of Grace Buckingham. Hospital emergency. Frequently interrupt John Finnegan. Kelly Spencer nearly drowned as a result, but Sheila saved the young girl's life. What happens if Finn is on his way to take Grace to the police station when he receives an urgent call from the hospital? I saw Bill stepping in and offering to take care of it so Finn could start working. But after the terrifying experience in Naples, where Ridge Forrester literally fought for Brooke Logan's life and saved her from the brink with CPR, a wrenching realization that the woman he'd loved for decades could so easily be lost forever and that he'd been taking her for granted, struck through his heart and mind. Bill probably has other plans, especially when he promises to make her pay. Ridge made a solemn pledge to do whatever it took to heal their broken relationship and secure their future together at that excruciating moment of holding Brooke close, feeling her frail breath against his skin, and seeing the glimmer of life return to her eyes. However, as the plane landed back in Los Angeles, the reassuring clarity of that Naples moment violently clashed with the twisted reality that awaited him at home. His fiancée, Taylor Hayes, had remained unwavering, clinging to hope and excitement about their impending wedding, oblivious to Ridge's sudden realization about Brooke. Ridge's heart was divided between the indisputable fact that Brooke was his only true love and the overwhelming guilt he felt for the suffering his past relationship with Taylor had caused, particularly in light of her delicate emotional state and the medical struggles she had faced, which were exacerbated in part by their previous heartbreaks. Even though he now knew that Brooke was the woman he wanted to be with, he couldn't bring himself to break Taylor's heart again, not so quickly or without empathy, as his mind relived the innumerable times he had done so. Because of this internal struggle, Ridge made the painful decision to postpone his reunion with Brooke. He did this in order to preserve Taylor's heart, even if it meant keeping Brooke waiting and delaying their future. He struggled with the idea of speaking straight, whether to share his emotional awakening, his Naples kiss, or his newfound confidence. But he was afraid of Taylor's reaction to their engagement ending abruptly. Ever the optimist, Taylor held fast to the conviction that Brooke was a thing of the past, that Ridge was hers, and that they would soon be married. She was unaware of the storm that was building inside Ridge's soul, or the genuine emotions that were sparked by the almost fatal loss of Brooke. Brooke, meantime, was in a state of uncertainty, wondering if Ridge would fulfill the vow made in Naples, or if the weight of Taylor's frail heart and their shared past would prevent him from totally embracing her again. The ensuing months were a tense dance of doubt and want. Brooke waited patiently but grew more and more irritated, while Ridge seemed split between duty and desire. The irony was harsh. Despite the dramatic background of Italy, their destiny had been unlocked. But the road to their happily ever after was still paved with layers of compassion, guilt, and past transgressions. Other members of the Forrester and Spencer families were still feeling the effects of deceit and treachery. Bill Spencer's remorse and desire for a second chance to repair their father-son relationship drove him to spend an incredible $1 million on an experimental brain operation for Liam Spencer, which caught Katie Logan off guard at Forrester Creations. Bill, who had frequently behaved like a cruel tycoon, now hoped to mend the hurtful parts of their broken relationship by supporting Liam's health. While Liam and Hope Logan had been living in fear, believing that Liam's cancer might have returned, they were reassured by Grace Buckingham, who presented herself as a miracle worker. But this flimsy optimism was dashed by John Finnegan's unrelenting search for the truth. Finn discovered that the cancer diagnosis was a deceptive falsehood, the phony scans were a front, and Grace had orchestrated the fraud to control Bill and the family. Even worse, Liam's entire procedure had been a hoax. He had been given a medicine to make him think he was getting worse, while, in reality, he had no sickness at all. The Spencer-Logan clan was rocked by the revelation. Driven by virtuous rage, Hope challenged Grace, smacking her across the face and calling her a phony no more respectable than Reese Buckingham, a name that had come to represent deceit and ruin in their recent past. Only Finn's calm intervention kept Liam from getting into a violent altercation when his anger reached a boiling point. Desperate and cornered, Grace attempted to defend her conduct by pointing to threats from bookmakers connected to Reese's gambling debts, but her arguments were ignored. Her devastation was too great, her betrayal too profound. The beginning of her demise came when she promised to give herself in, and Finn got ready to take her to the police. Lee Finnegan remained steadfast in her resolve to protect Luna Nozawa from the world's condemnation, both at the hospital across town and inside the dark confines of private secrets. Even as Sheila Carter Sharp attempted to breach her protected haven, Lee was caring for her granddaughter's coma-stricken corpse with silent desperation and a mother's unwavering devotion, having staged Luna's death to shield her from a harsh reality and severed family ties. Sheila was faced with a moral and emotional roller coaster when she found Luna alive behind locked doors. The granddaughter she had assumed was dead was actually hanging on. But at what price and with what future? Though hesitant to allow Sheila to assist, Lee persisted on giving Luna another shot at mending despite her unresolved hatred and bitterness toward her for previous mistakes and betrayals. Sheila, on the other hand, struggled between her loyalty to Luna and her suspicion of Lee's secrecy and coldness. Luna's inevitable awakening, which promised discoveries and upheaval, was put in motion by this delicate triangle of love, distrust, and care. Bill Spencer was in shock over the most recent revelation back in Los Angeles. When Liam learned about Grace's fraud, he became enraged. In addition to her betrayal, he was prepared to hold Grace accountable for the emotional damage she had caused to his family. A new chapter of reckoning for anyone who dared to cross the Spencer clan was heralded by Bill's threat of vengeance. Ridge was a man torn between the past and the future, tormented by guilt but longing for true happiness, and his delayed reunion with Brooke loomed large amid all these upheavals. His sympathy for Taylor's frail heart held him captive even if his heart's compass was plainly pointing toward Brooke. With the knowledge that the truth would eventually come to light and the complex web of love, devotion, and heartache would demand its reckoning, viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful eagerly watched Ridge make this difficult decision. The Ridge-Brooke-Taylor love triangle, the underlying family issues, the medical scandal involving Liam and Grace, and the Luna coma mystery are all interwoven in this epic story. I can go into further depth, develop character emotions, change the language style and more if you'd like, or I can divide it up into separate sections. Do you want me to do it for you? Taylor's choice is incomprehensible, and Brooke has one good alternative. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke Logan took a plane to Italy in the hopes of winning her true love over. Why, then, would Taylor Hayes let Ridge Forrester, the same man, go without her? Taylor expressed her trust in Ridge to Brooke's defense sisters, Donna Logan and Katie Logan. That's not the soapy point, though. Across the Atlantic, viewers watched the setup as they got ready for another of this soap opera's breathtaking money-in-the-bank location shots. As anticipated, the Italian views have been pleasant, raising doubts about the created triangle between Ridge, Brooke, and Nick Marone. Nick may be Brooke's fate, since he wants to dedicate himself to her once more. Ridge had never truly committed to Brooke and isn't with her at the moment, as Wagner's resurrected character pointed out. So why think of him as a good choice? Sidewalk supervisor Eric Forrester. Fans may recognize certain personality types in images of Eric Forrester reprimanding his adoptive son on a regular basis about Ridge's paternal sibling, Nick. These are the people that congregate on the sidewalk to provide their insightful opinions about how a summer house project needs to be carried out without getting their hands dirty.